Hi guys, today I'm here with a collective haul. These are some products that I've picked up recently, random things over the past few months, and I had just have the shopping bug lately. I can go a really long time, really good, don't buy anything, and then out of nowhere I have like a 2 or 3 month span where I just cannot keep my hands off my credit card. A little bit of technical difficulties before I started filming this video, and the only reason I'm mentioning it is because underneath my feet I did put on sandals is a bunch of broken glass. The show must go on. I broke a light behind me and I was like, I'm not cleaning this up, I'm filming anyways. And if you're wondering where my necklace is from, it's very high-end, very exclusive. I got it in the sale section at Rue 21 when I was in the States recently. But let's get started. I have a few items here from IMATS New York, and no, I did not sneak off to IMATS and not tell you. I had a few friends go, and my makeup mule and friend Shell picked me up a few items. I think she actually got me more stuff than she got for herself. Thank you. The first items I definitely wanted to try and I have been so interested in are the Juvia's Place palettes. So the first one I got here, I wanted to get all three, but I don't know, I decided against it. I probably should have gotten them all. Anyways, this is the Nubian palette. So this is kind of the first one that they came out with. And it is their more neutral palette. It's very beautiful, very warm, lots of matte colors, lots of like very vibrant kind of shimmery foiled shades. The only thing I noticed when I looked at this palette, the first thing, was that there's no matte cream shade. And I think as a brand that was kind of formulated first off and by women of color, that is the thing that I have the hardest time finding, is a matte cream shade that's not super stark on my skin. So I do feel like that's kind of missing out of this palette, but that being said, I can totally reach for a single. I think that it is beautiful. The packaging is nice and sleek. It came really nice and bubble wrapped. The pigmentation is insane, a little bit soft and powdery, but I have no problem with that. I haven't actually had much time to play with it. I've had it stuck in a drawer to ensure that it made it into this haul, but so far so good. And then I also got their Masquerade mini palette. And I think that this is just genius because they have a gigantic palette, and maybe if you're a makeup artist or if you're really going to be using it all the time, it may be of use. But for me as a makeup junkie, and I just love to try so many different things, I don't need a big gigantic palette. The same thing with the Smashbox Cover Shop palettes. I love those because they're small, they have everything I need, but they don't take up a bunch of room, and I know that I'm actually going to make use of it. Same can be said for this. So this is just the mini version of their Masquerade palette, but that being said, these are full-size eyeshadows. Like, this is totally satisfactory to me. It is actually what I'm wearing on my eyes today. I'm wearing the pink, the brown, and a little bit of the blues on my lower lash line. And again, insanely pigmented, really gorgeous shades. And I like this palette because it has a really nice selection of neutrals, but then you also get some kind of fun shades in there to play around with. Also from IMATS New York, I asked for a few products from the Balm, and this is one of my favorite brands. I've said it a million times, but it just holds a really special place in my heart because it's one of the first higher end brands I ever purchased. And the first item from them I have is the Highlight and Contour palette. And not only do I really love their products, but I think their packaging is really special. It's beautiful, but at the same time it's not bulky or overdone. They just do such a beautiful job. So as you may have gathered, this is their contour palette. It's what I'm wearing today. I used it to set my under eyes, to highlight, as well as contour and bronze. So couple issues with this, but I actually also really like it. So here are the pros and cons. I really like the highlight. I wasn't expecting that much from it. I think it gave a beautiful glow. You get one that's a little more champagne, one that's a little bit more pink. Then you get the two under eye powders, and these are super pigmented, which I really love. Reminds me of the Kat Von D contour kit. A lot of highlighting powders don't actually give you any coverage or any brightness under the eyes. Sometimes they just kind of set. So you can definitely go overboard with this if you have a deeper skin tone. I kind of did a little bit today and tried to rectify it, but they're really creamy. They're a little bit of a heavier powder, so just be careful when you're using it under your eyes, but I do really appreciate how much pigment is in there. I also do really quite like the bronzing and contour shades because they are deep enough for my skin tone, which I really appreciate. What I don't appreciate, however, is the pan size. I was easily able to get my brush in these top shades here, but with my Sigma F40, which is a little bit frayed, it's not as thin as it used to be, but any kind of bronzer brush, you're going to have a bit of a hard time getting in here, which is a bit of a bummer. And I haven't been able to use these blushes yet, but as you know, I love the Balm blushes, so I expect those will be great, and I really do love that they are matte. Also from the Balm, I used this today to set my face. I'm actually wearing the new Revlon Youth FX foundation. Let me know if you'd like a review on that. But this is their Photo Balm Powder Foundation in the shade Medium Dark. Again, adorable, sleek packaging. I only used it to set my face today, so I can't really report back. But if you would like to see a review on this, and I'm also trying to get my hands on their Even Steven foundation, let me know. I love the Balm. I have really high hopes. I didn't really notice how much coverage it gave me. I'm having a really bad skin month right now, and like I just feel like nothing looks good on my skin. So, but so far it does seem really good. It has a really smooth texture. The Balm doesn't do an amazing job with shade ranges, but there are 2 shades deeper than this in the line. The last item that I muled from IMATS in New York is the Dose of Colors liquid lipstick. Again, this is a brand I've always been really intrigued by, and it is just a little bit hard to get your hands on in Canada. I have a hard time paying high shipping prices. So this one is in the shade Stone. It is a little bit lighter than what I wanted it to be. I am wearing it on my lips today with the ColourPop BFF 3 liner. That being said, the texture feels amazing. It feels like there's nothing on my lips. And I hear people say that sometimes, and I'm like, that's BS. You can always feel liquid lipstick. Some are lighter than others, but this really does feel like next to nothing, super comfortable on the lips. So I'm hoping they're going to be at IMATS Toronto this year because they weren't last year, and they do actually sell it on the Dose of, or not the, obviously, well, they sell it on the Dose of Colors website, but they sell it on the Ulta website now, which also ships to Canada if you're interested to try these. But so far so good. I mean, it's only been about an hour that I've been wearing this, but it does feel so comfortable. I then picked up a few Sigma brushes. There's a website and the name has totally left my brain. I just went and searched through my email, could not find it, but it's a Canadian website. What is it called? I will list it down below. I'm pretty sure the website's shut down now, but I had talked about it on Twitter and Snapchat. If you're following me there at Samantha Jane YT, I always kind of try and keep you in the loop of any cool sales going on, especially for us Canadians who can be a little deprived when it comes to good makeup deals. But they had 40% off because the website was shutting down, so I decided to pick up a few Sigma items. The first is the F23 Soft Angle Contour, and I think I can safely say that that girl Shay made me buy all of these. I absolutely love her. I've been watching her channel forever. But every time she used this brush, I was like, that looks so good. So I'm really excited to give this a go. Looks like it's going to be really nice for bronzing and contouring. I can't remember if I've seen her use this one, but it's the F06 Powder Sweep. I think it's supposed to be for sweeping away bake, but I thought it would be really nice for highlighting. And then I know that she loves this brush, so I had to pick it up. It is the Blending E36, and I love it because it's a blending brush, but it's really small. And I don't really have hooded eyes, but I also don't have like the most eye space to work with ever. So I thought this would be really nice for doing some detailed work, a little bit on the lower lash line. I don't really have a ton of small brushes, and I do really like Sigma, but again, shipping to Canada can be kind of expensive, and at 40% off, free shipping, I couldn't say no. It turns out I have a lot of makeup mules. My friend Shauna was in the United States during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty when the Tarte blushes were on sale, and I have a Tarte blush palette, which I absolutely love, but I never really reach for palettes when it comes to face products, and they had released a collection of nude products, nude lipsticks, and nude blushes, I think it was, last year. I have always eyed Tarte's Exposed blush, but felt like it may not work for me, so I thought I would try Seduce. When looking at swatches online, it kind of looked like this was a little bit peachy and a little bit deeper than Exposed. Wearing it on my cheeks today, I'm still undecided. I think it could be one of those kind of like silent but beautiful blushes, similar to like a matte copper tone Tarte Exposed that doesn't look like much but really does something on the cheeks. But I'm still kind of undecided because I'm just having a weird makeup day. I'm just mad at my skin and I'm not really happy with anything. But I do know that the texture and wear time on these blushes is great. And then some more Tarte products in this gorgeous bag. I have eyed this deal for probably like 2 or 3 years, however long they've been doing it. They send out an email. I think they do one around Mother's Day and then also maybe around Christmas. But basically, again, I had mentioned this on my Twitter and on my Snapchat, but this was a deal for Americans. I think it was $65. For Canadians, for me, it came to $84 total to get a whole bunch of Tarte products. And I thought it was just such a good deal. And I was like, Samantha, you have been eyeing this forever, so you might as well do it. So the first item, you got to like, yeah, I should explain it a little bit better. So you choose like your makeup bag, you choose a brush, you choose an eyeliner, you choose a lipstick, you choose a blush, you choose a foundation. I think it's worth definitely over $100, if not over $200 for sure. So if you have been eyeing any of those products, like for me, I was really eyeing the powder foundation, so I thought it made it a justifiable deal. So the brush that I chose, and I almost got this kit last year, but I didn't because this brush went out of stock, and I was like, this is the only one I want. I was so curious about this because, as I mentioned in my Forgotten Favorites video, I love the NARS contour brush. This is kind of similar, definitely a little more dense, definitely more fluffy, but I used it today and I do really like it. It is quite unique, even though more companies are starting to come out with more items like this. The next item is this blush in the shade Blissful. Excited to have more Tarte blushes in my collection because I know they are fabulous, but for whatever reason, I just get so distracted by new products. So excited to have this guy. It is in the shade Blissful. It's a beautiful kind of coral shade. I haven't tried it yet, but I think it's going to be really, really nice for the summer. Then the Tarte Camera Lashes, is it? Yes, I think I've tried this in a mini, never had the full size. Wearing it today, lots of volume, lots of length, doesn't get clumpy, and I really love the brush. It just really feels like it's getting through my lashes, and then this was kind of what encouraged me to pick up this set in the first place. It is the Confidence Creamy Powder Foundation in the shade Medium Tan Honey, and I haven't used this as I'm using that new Revlon foundation and the new I haven't filmed in a while and I'm just like running out of breath because I'm talking so much. And the Balm powder foundation. Oh my god, Samantha, get it together. I'm just excited to talk to you. But I was really, really curious about this. It sounds really nice and luxurious, creamy powder. So I've got a lot of foundation reviews to get to. The last items in this bag were a liner. I used this for the first time today. I really like it. It is the Tarte Precision Longwear Liner. Really, really black, easy to use, comes to a nice tip, and I am bad at eyeliner, so anything that makes it easier for me is very much appreciated. And then this is the Lip Surgeon's lip gloss. The only thing about this kit is I feel like the lip options that they listed were kind of like their, I wouldn't say duds, but they're definitely their less popular lip products. There was nothing in there that I was really, really excited to try. I would have liked to see their lip paints, their Rainforest of the Sea lipsticks, but I did pick this up and it does look quite pretty. It is the Blissful lip gloss, which is kind of the complementary shade to the blush. And lastly, I placed a mini order from Sephora. I bought the Boscia Jelly Ball Cleanser. If you haven't seen that video, I will link to it down below. I am still using that. I used it to travel and I do still like it if you're curious. But to get to the free shipping total, I thought I would pick up this guy. It is the 8-Hour Wear Mattifying Compact Foundation. This is the Sephora collection. I got it in the shade 33 Walnut, and I think it's a little bit light for me. I've only used it once, like I had no makeup on, I just kind of brushed it on my face and it basically did nothing. Although I had some of you kind of recommend it to me when I reviewed the other Sephora powder foundation, which I hated. So I need to check the date on when I purchased this, maybe return it for a better shade. Not so sure how it's going to act as a powder foundation. It may be better just to set my makeup, so I will have to play around with it a little bit more. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this haul video. Let me know down below if you have picked up anything exciting lately. I feel like it's just like non-stop launches all over the place. I have an Ulta haul coming along with an American Drugstore haul. I cannot be stopped. I am a shopping machine lately. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!